Good morning, guys. Happy Wednesday. Welcome back to another episode of AKP Sports Talk. That's Ari. I'm Korea. Look, unfortunately, yesterday was not the day I was hoping to have on the pitch. But, in the diamond, I had to make up for it. And did I make up for it ever? First, let's get into the diamond. Kind of contributing to my 2-in-1 day. The Rays, I don't know why they were dogs. Excuse me. I don't know why they were dogs. I think it was a mismatch. I think the Rays should have been favored. I'm talking about the better team in the spot at this moment. We were talking about it yesterday. The Yankees don't look like themselves right now. They've lost. They are trying to find new ways to lose at this point. It started off early. Rodon gave up that 3-run bomb, and it was pretty much wraps from then. The Yankees made a little bit of a late comeback from the Rays bullpen, but it was too much for the Yankees and their bats. So the Rays to get the full game money line win at plus 102. Thinking about it more, maybe I should have taken the first 5, but I just thought the Yankees and this team are so bad right now. You just got to fade them at all costs. So that was definitely a nice win there to see. And then the Guardians first 5. I'm so glad I took the Guardians first 5. If you did see that game, obviously the Guardians were up, I think 7-0 or up almost like I think up 3 or 4 runs at one point against the Tigers.
I think it was 7-0, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah, I think it was 7-0, and then all of a sudden, after the 5th inning, after the bullpen came in and almost ruined it, and then it became a 7-7 ball game. I was talking about this game being mispriced on the either side. On the full game money line, I think that got a high. I saw it get as high as minus 140 in the 150s, and I'm glad a lot of people, the guys were sweating that one out for the full game money line. For first 5 money line was obviously at a great price there at minus 125, and that's what I was talking about there, just not having to worry about whatever happens, and I did not have to worry about that. Glad it happened through 5, just took it through 5 and just turned off that game, so that was nice to see. Unfortunately, the Spain-France draw, that was an unfortunate loss there. I thought France was going to get another goal throughout that second half, but Kylian Mbappe, the man who never shows up at the Euros, once again not showing up at the Euros again. Didn't he? I don't think he had one goal that was really noteworthy from him. Considering his World Cup run that he just had, just disappointing end to see France go out like that. Obviously, a great start. I thought, this game was at least going to go into extra time, with just, how conservative France have always played. But obviously, Lamine Yamal is a different human being. That he's 16 years old, Ari. What were you doing at 16? Me, I was still in high school. I was learning algebra. This man's having bangers off the left foot in the Euros. I mean, I don't know what to say, but unfortunate L there, obviously. 2-in-1 day for me, obviously. I'll gladly take it. Obviously, we'd love to end on a positive note there. Ari, how did you do yesterday?
1-0. 1-0 for me. It was pretty much a legacy win. First 5 under, 0-0 through, I think it was the first inning, and then the top of the second, and then the bottom of the second, 2 quick outs, and then before you knew it, there was somehow 4 runs scored, and with 2 outs, nobody on the bottom of the second. I'll at that point, you needed a miracle, and the miracle happened with 3 straight scoreless innings from Quintana and Irvin. It was pretty low scoring. I think it was 6-2, I think. So it was for having 4 runs scored in the bottom of the second, obviously a 6-2 final is low scoring, all things considered, with that in mind. And the Nationals lineup is just really bad right now. And, the Mets, Irvin did just enough to, keep it under on the other side.
Well, the game actually finished 7-5.
Maybe, I guess there's some runs scored in the 9th inning, but it was 6-2. I think when Nimmo homered, I think.
It definitely
was. I think in the 8th inning or something, but yeah.
Yeah, but the Mets almost blew that game. The Mets, Mets
Or
are trying
yeah,
to
it
find
was
new ways
seven. Yeah,
to
okay,
lose.
yeah, it was 7-2, and they scored 3 in the top of them, right? Yeah.
Yeah, most hilarious way. Almost the Mets trying to find new ways to lose. But you mentioned the first five, almost could have been a disaster. Obviously, you mentioned Lindor had that RBI single, and then Nimmo had that 3-run bomb to left field. So you're thinking, oh no, it's already 4 runs. And then obviously, three innings later, we're safe, obviously. And then Lindor had that 2-run home run in the bottom of the sixth. Obviously, great winner for you as well. 1-0 day, obviously, love to see it. 3-1 day combined. Obviously, we're just churning out some picks here. Obviously, getting this momentum as we get ready for the NFL season. Obviously, we got to grind through this MLB season first. / the Euros. I got 3 plays for you today. We're gonna go back to the Euros, and I'm just taking Netherlands to advance plus 100. This is my play of the day, play of the week, I don't know what you want to call it. If you remember, back about a month ago, I told you guys about 3 futures in the Euros. I said Portugal, I said France, and there was a third team that was at plus 1800. That team is the Netherlands. That team went from all the way at plus 1800, I think about a couple weeks ago, maybe a week ago, to plus like 600. I think this is a fantastic value. You're just taking the team to advance. You don't have to worry about what happens in the first 90. You don't have to worry about what happens in the 30. You just gotta worry about Netherlands advancing to the final. And that is the only reason why I'm pretty much placing this today. I have the future on them. Like I said, at plus 1800. And this is my only future in the Euros left. Copa America, we're cooking in Copa America. All 3 of my futures are still alive. So so we're guaranteed profit in Copa America versus obviously the Netherlands. We got to sweat this one out. Obviously, I know all the England fans and everyone who has England as a future is going to be like, it's coming home, minus 135. It's coming home, guys. It's coming home. I don't want to hear that nonsense today. We're bringing it to the Dutch. Netherlands to advance at plus 100. I think it's great value. Just taking this team that I think is going to win it potentially in the 90 to advance. I think Netherlands is going to be too much for England. England has not faced a good attacking squad like the Netherlands. And the Netherlands, I feel, they know this England team very well. And recently, I think, well, obviously, these matches are obviously at least 3 to 4 years old at the very least. But the Netherlands do kind of have England's number in the last few matches, whether it's on whether there's a friendly or in an international tournament setting. But I'm just taking the Netherlands. Obviously, you have guys like with Cody Gapko, obviously, obviously his goal last game was considered an own goal, but in my heart, that was a goal. He has been cooking for this Netherlands team. Obviously, I feel like this is the way. Even if it does go to pens, I like this Netherlands team. Obviously, England kind of found their stride last time, obviously against the Swiss, but obviously, what you kind of have to be real. They did get lucky against that because Jordan Pickford, if he didn't make that save against Akanji, he was getting cleaned out. I mean, he could make a single save after that versus England, who went 5 for 5, obviously. If it does go to pens, but the only question is England's attack, and a lot of the England players, obviously Virgil van Dijk, obviously the big name in the Netherlands defense. He knows almost obviously every single player with playing in the Premier League for Liverpool. I think the fact that he knows Bukayo Saka and how he likes to move on the left side, or how who I don't know what the lineup officially is, but I'm assuming Bukayo Saka is going to start. I'm just taking the Netherlands to advance here. I'm just backing my future here. This is my favorite play. I'm putting at least 3 or 4. I may even put 5 units on this just because the future's on the line here. So this is going to be my biggest play that I give out probably so far this year. So I'm just taking the Netherlands to advance. Double your money at plus 100 here. And then we're going to go back to the diamond where I have been cooking. And we're going to go to the Royals first 5 money line, but obviously make sure it's game 2. For some of you who are watching this a little bit later, obviously game 1 may have already been starting for you. So make sure it is game number 2, which is later today. And we're taking the first 5 money line. I see it right now at plus 105. I think it may switch throughout the day, but I think right now it's good value at plus 105 because we're just backing the better team here in the second game. I think in this game one, my favorite play is the first 5 over. I just think Alec Marsh and I think Andre Payante. Oh, good lord, my favorite guy to fade on the Cardinals. That guy stinks. But I think because obviously while we always like to back runs and obviously doubleheader games, one of them is going to be runs and one of them is going to be kind of boring usually. And I think that second one's going to be a little bit slow, but I think the Royals get out to a lead. In that second game, it's Michael Wacha starting for the Royals, and he does have good splits. He obviously a good veteran. He knows this Royals team pretty well. I like him in this spot. This obviously is the game that was supposed to be slated today. Obviously, yesterday's game got postponed. Only allowing about a 255 batting average to them. So I don't really, I think he has a good day today. He's been really, pretty consistent in his last 3 starts, only allowing 1 run through about 5 innings of play. So we're just kind of backing, Michael Wacha to do his job. Obviously his opponents have been, really good hitting teams when you look at him, except for Tampa Bay, but he's played Texas, he's played Cleveland in his last few games, and he's playing St. Louis today. And then on the other side, it's excuse me if I'm butchering this. I don't know how to pronounce it. Gordon Graceffo. I don't know how to pronounce his name, but it's pretty much a bullpen day for the Cardinals, and he's getting the start. And he in his last his most recent start, he went 4 1/3. He went 1 run and 4 Ks at home against Cincinnati. I don't feel as if Cincinnati's bats, really compared to the Royals today. So I'm just taking the Royals not to really be, losing by much. I'm taking the Royals first by money line. We're getting at it almost even money here. I like it just, the fact that we're taking a veteran on the road who I like in this spot here, Michael Wacha, who knows this Cardinals lineup pretty well. We're taking the Royals first 5 money line here. I like the first 5, obviously, not having to worry about obviously the full game. So there is that push potential. We do get our money back if they're tied. So that's why I'm taking the first 5 money line at plus 105. And then we're going to the last game of the night, or one of the last games of the night, and we're taking the D-backs on the full game money line at minus 105 here. That's your best value on DraftKings. And right now on the mound, it's for the Braves, it's going to be Charlie Morton, and the D-backs love hitting off of Charlie Morton. Christian Walker, obviously one of their best hitters right now, 4 for 9 with a homer. Ketel Marte has had a homer off of him, obviously in one of his 2 hits off of him. Lourdes Gurriel, who obviously has had some ups and downs, but starting to really get things going for him. He's 2 for 6 against him. Obviously, Corbin Carroll, he had a little bit of a slow start, obviously, but he seems to be kind of getting his groove back now. He's 1 for 4 against him. Gabriel Moreno, he's 2 for 6 against him. I love all of these splits for the Diamondbacks today against Charlie Morton. And on the mound for the Diamondbacks, it's Slade Ciccone, and we're just backing the Braves against righties. They stink. The Braves just don't know how to hit against right-handed pitching, and Ciccone has been a little bit up and down, but against teams that don't really know how to hit righties, he does usually do pretty well. His last good start, I'd say, was obviously was pretty much against the Nationals. He went 6 innings and 6 Ks, and we just talked about how the Nationals bats have been a little bit anemic. The Braves I'm challenging the Braves to have any bats against righties, and even if they do, I do love all the splits for these Diamondback hitters against Charlie Morton. Today might be a high-scoring game, but I'm more just on the Diamondbacks to win tonight. Obviously, it's avoid this. I think if I'm correct, they don't play tomorrow. Oh, they do play tomorrow. Oh, damn. Well,
at least try to get a series split today and tomorrow at least.
Try to not lose the series today, pretty much, kind of system in play here. They're pretty much almost at I pick them almost at minus 110, but a slight favor for the Braves. I don't think especially after yesterday's game, a pretty close game yesterday. Obviously throughout the first couple innings, and then Chris Sale just had his way with this whole D-backs lineup. 6 for 32. They couldn't hit the ball yesterday, but Chris Sale, I saw a lot of people are saying, take his taco prop on Prize Picks and all that stuff, and I usually don't, but he was cooking. He went 5 1/3, 9 Ks. I think the bats in this better matchup for the Diamondbacks show up today against Charlie Morton in the third game of the series out of 4. So those are my 3 plays today. Give me the Netherlands to advance, even money, my play of the century, whatever you want to call it. my goat whale, whatever Trent calls his plays at plus at even money. The Royals
bring Timmy to college.
To bring Timmy to college play here. The Royals first 5 money line for game 2 plus 105, and then a Diamondbacks full game money line tonight at minus 105. Those are my 3 plays for you today. Ari, what have you cooked up today?
Yeah, I didn't really like the board a lot today, so I'm just sticking with 1 play, and we're fading the team that you faded yesterday. And it's Eflin against Stroman. Eflin hasn't been great either, so this is really just a fade of the Yankees. I mean, Stroman's also been struggling as of late. He had like an ERA over 5 last month, and they started off this month with another loss against the Reds last week. Like I said, Eflin's not been great, but neither has the Yankees lineup really, for the most part, outside of the one game where Ben Rice had the 3 home runs where they exploded in that game. Outside of that, they've kind of been scuffling overall. It's like if Judge and Soto aren't, doing everything, then they're not putting a lot of runs on the board. So I kind of thought about the over because of Stroman struggles and Eflin struggles, but I just decided to fade the Yankees because I feel like Eflin hasn't been great, but he hasn't really been awful. I mean, I guess across his 5 starts in June, he had like a 3.5 ERA, so it's not like he wasn't like awful, just not great. It's kind of 5-6 innings, 3 or 4 runs, for the most part, which I think if he does something like that, could still be enough for the Rays to pounce on Stroman, based on his recent struggles. So just backing the Rays at home, fading the Yankees, who I think still have the worst records. I think June 15th in the MLB. Still scuffling. So, like I said before, in MLB, when teams are hot and teams are cold, you kind of, if you've been fading the Yankees for the past 3 weeks, let's just say you're doing pretty good. Obviously, it's a long season. Teams are going to go through ups and downs. So at some point, you figure the Yankees are going to get back on track. But I think at this point, they're just trying to get to the All-Star. They're trying to crawl to the All-Star break at this point, with it being a few days away, basically, or 5 days away, with whatever, the end of this week. So just going with the Rays at home, money line over the Yankees.
Yeah, I do love that play for you. Obviously, I was on the Rays yesterday at almost even money. Now today they're a slight favorite at minus 125. I didn't really know what side to choose in this. Obviously, you mentioned first with Marcus Stroman. His inconsistencies right now. He's not looking like himself. He's more of a ground ball pitcher, and when they're facing teams that make good contact, and he's a contact kind of pitcher. One mislocation and that can obviously end up in a seat somewhere. So I feel like his recent struggles can contribute to that. Eflin's not the greatest pitcher as well. That's why I do like the over in this. But you mentioned when a team is cold or a team is hot, you got to fade them or ride with them. So obviously you mentioned if you've been fading the Yankees recently, you've been up a lot of money, obviously, just from the amount of Yankees losses that have been obviously coming their way. Obviously, you mentioned the one game that recently that they did look good was obviously that Ben Rice 3-homer game where they beat the Red Sox by 10 runs. But other than that, it's been not looking good. I even saw a tweet yesterday. I think Juan Soto swung, I think at a strike 3, and I think like tweaked his back or something. I don't think it was anything serious, but it's just anything like that. Like it's what can go wrong is going wrong for the Yankees. So I do love that Rays money line play for you at minus 125. That's Ari's one and only play today. My 3 plays, obviously, my goat whale, send Timmy to college play, the Netherlands to advance at even money, and then the Royals first 5 money line for game 2, obviously, at plus 105, and then D-backs full game money line at minus 105. Obviously, you can find this video, all three of my plays, Ari's play, on our Twitter below, AKP Sports Talk. But that is going to do it for this episode. We thank you guys so much for tuning in. That is Ari. I'm Korea. We will obviously be back tomorrow for another episode. Win some money, guys. Peace out, and we'll see you tomorrow.